Hey folks, welcome back to another video. I wanted to talk a little bit about 2024 and our planning and thought process leading into next year. We're wrapping up a very incredible, humbling, and empowering first season here at Wild East Farm, and it's been a lot of fun planning for next year. So I wanted to tune you into what we've got in mind and our thought process leading into the winter and next season. Please make sure to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's a perfect day to be in here doing office work next to the wood stove. It's about 40 degrees and raining, and this is actually the first rain we've gotten of over 1/10 of an inch since early August, so everyone is happy about that. So starting a farm, there's always a lot of guesswork that goes into some of the planning in year one. We want to produce enough food that we're able to, meet our demand, but we don't want to overproduce because we're simultaneously building up the ecology and building up the enterprises and our customer bases. We were able to get in a really nice sweet spot this year, and we didn't overproduce, we didn't underproduce. It felt like production met demand really perfectly this year. And we're positioned to essentially double all of the enterprise's production for 2024, which is a really good position to be in. And we're going to do so by pretty much taking each of the main enterprises and just multiplying it out by 2. So this year we did close to 1,500 broilers, and we're gonna ramp that up to 3,200 next year. Market garden, we recently put in the tunnels halfway through this year, and we're gonna expand a bit further, building out beds to a total space of just over 1/3 of an acre, which is very small in terms of market garden space, but we're gonna be going very high production there, and that's a pretty big increase for us from this season. And we're gonna increase the turkey and pig, kind of the side enterprises, those numbers as well. So feel really excited about being able to do so and working out the kinks of planning it all out as we move into the winter. The way it shook out this year, and it went according to plan, was that the market gardens and broiler enterprises would together make up about 80% of the farm's economy, and the forest raised pork and pastured turkeys making up that difference of about 20%, in addition to some of the little side things we did like consulting gigs and educational events. On that note, we want to ramp up our education event calendar for 2024 now that some of the things that we got started on this season are established, and we've worked on proving some of our methods this season. We're excited to have a educational workshop calendar that is going to evolve over the winter as we refine it, but right now is going to include multiple classes and experiences focused on market gardening, several focused on pastured poultry, and several focused on agroforestry. So those kind of being, while integrated, the 3 main branches of what we do here at Wild East. We're excited to bring people onto the farm locally and regionally to talk about what we do and share ideas and, bring other folks in to learn from one another as well. So this is just a look at our crop plan for 2024. Pretty simple layout here, just crop fields broken down by blocks and different successions throughout the seasons, and transplant or direct seeded crops indicated there. In this column we have the date in terms of week of each month that it's going to go in, more or less. And As I've said in previous videos, we're going to rely less heavily on summer crops than perhaps some other market gardens in an effort to cut down our summer workload as much as is feasible and lean heavier on the shoulder seasons. But we do have some cucumbers and tomatoes and peppers going in the ground, as well as summer squash, winter squash, and opening up ground for new production and yeah, just integrating different rotations of cover cropping, tarpage, and having crops in the ground across the farm. I've broken this down into our different transplant orders. We're still going to be ordering in transplants from a great local greenhouse that cuts that work off of our plate for this season, as we still don't have the infrastructure to produce as high quality of starts as they do. And then, yeah, a seed order all ready to go. So the 2024 crop plan is dialed in and ready to essentially turn the key and get going once it rolls around into spring. Here's the spreadsheet planning out the poultry production for next year, and this is primarily for internal use, but thought it would be cool to show y'all. We're doing 8 batches of 400 throughout the season, and this is broken down by weeks of the month, and how many are arriving in the brooder is the blue rows. We're going to have it set up so that as soon as one batch goes out on pasture, another batch is getting loaded into the brooder, and red rows indicate a slaughter week. So we'll be going on that schedule all season. The plan for next year, again, cutting our summer workload, is to not have any chickens on the farm for the whole month of July. So we'll process out the last of the spring broilers, the very beginning of July, end of June, and then take July off from having brooder or field chores, bringing them back onto the farm in August. So we'll have 4 batches in the spring, 4 batches in the fall, ending on first week of December. So we're excited to see how this plan rolls out. We have a late batch of broilers in the field right now that are going to be processed in mid-December that are doing really well. It's been fairly mild, but even in the cold conditions, they're hanging in there very nicely. A big part of planning properly is not only matching our production capabilities and the demand, but also trying to match what our economic needs are. I think it's probably the biggest challenge in a small farm is making the economics work and balancing cash flow and not going into too much debt if possible. And that's a big reason we're scaling up so much, is there's a need for us to bring in employees for next season to get help and, turn the business starting in year 2 from really startup mindset into how can we match a production level that fits our lifestyle needs, as well as pays us a good salary and continues to allow us to reinvest properly into the farm to grow and improve over the years. So there's a quick video on some of our planning for 2024. I can never stress enough how important it is to have a good plan, because although you adapt throughout the season as circumstance changes the plan, having a really solid backbone and foundation for guiding the day-to-day and week-to-week when you're in the middle of production is really the only way I see you can be successful on a farm. And I attribute a lot of our success this year in our first year to having really solid planning protocols and good spreadsheets and good record keeping. And it's very exciting for me to share our process there and continue to refine it as we build up this farm. And it can only continue to get better and better as we learn more about our landscape and about our preferences in how we want to grow and about what our customers value. So such a critical part of farming is these cold, rainy days and spending the time putting the plan together and rocking it out the following season, which is exactly what we're hoping to do. So thank you everyone for all your support this year, and really excited to have a restful winter and take it a bit easier and continue to work on projects to enact this plan throughout the winter, but feeling really solid about where we are right now here at the end of November. So stay tuned on our website on the events page and sign up for our newsletter. Follow us on Instagram if you want to stay up to date on opportunities to come out and be involved in the farm. We're going to have another big tree planting agroforestry push in March, and we always have opportunities to have folks come out and learn how to process poultry and help around the farm in ways that fits our needs and can serve as learning opportunities for folks. And we absolutely love being able to host in that way. So stay tuned.